Good morning, guys. Welcome back. It is our fifth Sunday of Lent here at St. Peter Lutheran. We're joining you online for Sunday school again this week. I hope everybody's doing well. So this week, what we're going to do, a little bit different than last week, but pretty similar to what we do every Sunday. What I'd like you to do first is read a story with your family. And we've got a story this week of one of Jesus' friends, Lazarus. And this story is from John chapter 11, verses 1 through 45. So if you could take some time and read that story with your family, maybe talk about it. It is an amazing story about one of the miracles that Jesus performed for his friend and his family. The next thing we're going to do is we've got some practice for our song, Jesus is Alive, but we've added the dance moves this week, so you guys can practice those. Got some help from some of my friends here at home to get the dance moves out for you. So you can practice that. Ask your family to join in with that too, but enjoy. And then last, we have lesson time. Mrs. Deanna put together a lesson for us this week, and it is awesome. Again, preparing for Easter coming up in a few weeks, and I hope you enjoy this week's lessons.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Deanna. I am working on a little project for you, getting some things ready, and hopefully we'll be able to deliver them to our families at some point. But do you remember the project that we were working on with our Shrinky Dinks? Oh, they were so much fun. So we were going to be telling the Easter story, that resurrection story of Jesus that begins on Palm Sunday and ends on Easter Sunday. Well, as you receive your Easter egg collection with your Shrinky Dinks inside, and then the piece of paper that tells the story, you'll be able to have an Easter egg hunt with your family and be able to tell the Easter story. So it begins when Jesus rode in on a donkey to Jerusalem just before his death and resurrection. They actually laid palms down for him to travel on, and the leaders were jealous and angry that everyone loved and followed Jesus. So as they went through, Judas was one of the 12 disciples, and he actually was in need, and he accepted 30 pieces of silver for betraying Jesus into the hands of the Jewish leaders. Next up was his Last Supper. With his 12 disciples, Jesus had a Last Supper before he died on the cross. He used the cup of wine to share his blood and remember him, and bread to share his body to remember him. Praying hands were actually those next in our Easter egg hunt that remind us that Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray with his disciples. You'll come next to the whip. After Jesus' trial, the Roman soldiers used leather ropes with rocks and metal woven to whip Jesus, leaving 39 deep gashes in his skin. The next one in your Easter story are the nails on the cross, and there's 3 of them to symbolize that he actually carried the cross to the hill. They put him on the cross and used 3 large nails to drive into his hands and his feet to nail him to the cross. The next piece would be your dice, in which the Roman soldiers used dice to actually gamble for his robe, his clothes, and they ended up taking his clothes away. As Jesus was on the cross, the next thing was the soldier spear in your Easter egg hunt, in which the Roman soldiers used a spear to pierce Jesus' side when he was on the cross to make sure that he was dead. As they came through, he finally passed away, and the next piece you'll find in there is a piece of cloth. Joseph of Arimathea wrapped Jesus in a body of a linen cloth after he died on the cross. They laid him in the tomb, and which happened on Good Friday. A huge stone that had covered the tomb was actually found rolled away 3 days later after an earthquake. And when they went into the tomb on Easter Sunday, Jesus' tomb was empty because he rose from the dead. That story right there, my little friends, is one of the most important stories that you'll be able to retell using your Easter egg resurrection with those 12 eggs. Each of those eggs has something that goes in one of them. The 12th egg will be empty to symbolize that his tomb was empty when he rose from the dead on Easter Sunday. So may God bless all of you, and you have a great time. Take care, and do a little Easter egg hunting with your family. And in the midst of that, share a little story of what you know about Jesus from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday. Take care, my friends.
Well, that's it for this week. You guys did a great job, and thank you for spending some time with us. Even though we can't be together at St. Peter, it was a lot of fun to get together here on this video, and let's do it again next week. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great week.